I am Daniel Shepard, Professor of Jewish-Christian Relations at Oakland University, and with me today is Rabbi Chaim Bergstein of Beis Chabad in Farmington Hills, Michigan. And thank you for taking out some time to be with us today, Rabbi.
My
we
pleasure.
have several questions we'd like to ask you for our class. The first question would be, who is a Jew?
A Jew is anyone who is the descendant of those who accepted the Torah 3,320 years ago at Sinai, or those who accepted all of the relevant commandments and laws and customs of Israel as they have been articulated in the oral and the written law called the Torah.
Thank you. And there's another question a little bit related. Could you explain to us what it means for someone personally to be Jewish? How would this influence their everyday life?
Well, take your class, for example. They go out for lunch and they go to the cafeteria, or they go out to McDonald's, or they go out to Wendy's, or one of the other fast food chains, or some very fine dining restaurant. We who are Jewish and keep the laws have only a handful of places where we can go out to eat because we keep kosher. And those laws and those guidelines very, very clearly limit where we can eat and what we can eat. So that's a very, very major part of our life, because much of our life is spent around food. You gather around,
yes,
and you have lunch with people, and you have parties with people, and you have suppers with people, and you have a drink with people. And we can't go to 99% of the places where you can go to. Another important difference would be in terms of our schedule for prayer. We have times we pray 3 prayers a day. It takes approximately an hour and a half to 2 hours on a daily schedule. And so we have to set aside time for prayers. We also have time that we set aside for Torah study, for the study of the Bible, as well as the Bible's commentaries, as well as the oral law. And of course, depending upon how much time we have, we devote a certain part of our time to the study. We also practice certain commandments that are not obvious, and these take time and effort and take resources. We educate our children in a day school where they learn the Torah. This, of course, separates them from public schools, and also is a very rigorous religious training and education. It's quite expensive. Yes.
Thank you. So then we would like to go on then with another question, and that one would be about the Jewish community. Would you say that there's such an entity as the Jewish community, and if so, how would you describe this community?
Jewish communities are collections of individuals who are Jewish who have banded together and formed an association of sorts in which they have common interests and address those common interests. Here in Detroit, there's a more organized, because it's a more organized city, therefore there are more organized institutions, most notably the Jewish Welfare Federation, which takes under its umbrella many hundreds of organizations that are both social, educational, and institutional. A Jewish community is composed of individuals. The individuals make up that community. The beneficiaries of that community don't necessarily have to be Jewish, but the organization itself, if it is to be considered a Jewish organization, is composed and run by people who are within that community. Today, the community is very widely ranging, with different commitments, belonging to different synagogues and different movements, and some not even belonging to a synagogue. We call this the Jewish community, meaning the body of people who identify themselves as being Jewish.
Thank you. Another question would be, how does your synagogue have any working relationship or partnership with the Christian church?
No.
Okay. And then the last question would be, do you have any advice for the students at Oakland University when it comes to talking with people of other faiths?
I'd rather address it as I have a message for the students of Oakland University as well as all of the people in the community, whoever will hear my words. We have been created by God for the purpose of bringing kindness and compassion into this world, as well as justice. And as such, God has given the entire world a moral code called the Noahide Code, the 7 commandments of the children of Noah. And those 7 commandments encompass all of the details of a normal functioning just society. And it is incumbent upon us, as all children of Noah, as children of Adam and Eve, and children of God, to make this world a better world. This requires not just compassion and kindness, which is the most important facet, but also requires sometimes strength to be able to stand up in the face of tyranny, which this country is founded upon. This country is founded upon kindness and compassion, as well as the strength of the individual in the belief of a supreme being and of a supreme justice. And it is my hope and wish that you will take this message with you, that God has created you with the opportunity that you've been given to be in the greatest country that God has ever created. There's never been a country like this. And you have the opportunity to bring goodness and kindness and justice to your communities and to all the peoples of the world if you so wish it. And may it be God's will that you will fulfill those things happily and be content and develop good families with good conduct and good relationships between yourselves and with others.
Well, that response to the question